guys, it's Luna. Today we're diving into the NYC phone ban, specifically public school phone ban. Starting this year, students can't use their phones from the first bell to the last bell. No TikTok at lunch, no texting between classes, no scrolling in study hall. This is currently one of the biggest debates. Is it going to save students' focus or will it punish them? Let's break it down with facts, history, and yes, of course, my personal hot takes. According to the NYC Department of Education, the new bell-to-bell rule disables all internet enabling devices, or doesn't allow them. So this includes phones, tablets, smartwatches, all day long. There are exceptions. Student with certain healthcare needs, caregiving duties, or teacher approved access can still use these devices. Schools have to provide storage, so this means locker pouches, device hotels, or those like magnet pouches like Yodar. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Honestly, putting away my phone all day, I feel fine because that's normally what I do. I do use my phone because I feel like it just makes certain things easier to access. If I need to look up a platform or look up something really quickly, I can do that easily with my phone. Teachers have been pushing this. According to 2024 research study, 72% of high school teachers say that cell phones are a major problem in the classrooms. According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, 73% of school leaders report that phones are hunting students' attention span, while only 53% say they're harming academics. Governor Kathy Hochul argued that having phones during emergencies can actually do more harm than good. Distracting the students or giving away their location. I get this, but especially during an emergency, why should my parents have to go through that emotional turmoil of knowing whether I'm okay or not just because of a phone ban? My teacher was also saying some study about how basically students being on their phones and using them and calling 911 hindered response times. Now, I have not seen, and I've been looking for a study of this, and I cannot find one. Maybe she found one and I'm not looking the right places, but there is a little bit of concern that having your phone and calling 911 can put a little bit more stress and distraction to the responders. And it could also spread misinformation, distract students from following instructions, and just slow down evacuation and everything. I also would like to give you some examples of mental health issues. So doom scrolling, that can increase anxiety, bullying, and then sleep issues. I get that. I have stayed up a little bit of my bedtime scrolling, but I feel like that hasn't, well, maybe it has. I feel like it hasn't affected me too much. I don't do it often, but once in a while I'll do that. And then the CDC reported that 1 in 3 high school girls felt persistent sadness in 2023, and many experts say it's because of social media overload. Now, maybe that is true. Social media can be a lot. We can be comparing ourselves, especially when our brains are developing. And then Governor Hochul said in emergencies, phones can be distracting and then spread panic. Because one example, during an emergency, children were texting rumors before teachers even knew what was happening. And that could be exceptionally horrible if somebody was saying that one thing happened and another person was adding on to it, and then it could make this big whole thing that can put things out of context and lead to just unnecessary emotional turmoil. Some districts that tried banning schools before NYC have seen some improvements. For example, Scholarly High School in upstate New York reported graduation rising to 97% after the phone bans. Globally, the UK Department of Education found that banning phones have led to higher scores on test grades, about the same boost as adding almost a year of learning. But it is definitely not all positive, like in South Africa. In South Africa, 85% of students oppose the phone ban because they see phones as a useful tool, not a distraction. I'm a student and I could definitely tell you firsthand the impact. Not being able to talk to my family or talk to my friends that I do not have in that period is absolutely horrible, because one thing that I love to do is I love to use my lunch like it's lunch. I feel like school is one place where they're supposed to help you get ready for the job market, they say, right? And lunch, no matter where you work, it's, unless you are working through your lunch, but I hope not everybody deserves their lunch, is a place where you're able to eat lunch and talk to your family, talk to your friends, call them. Like, you're supposed to be able to do that. And you not being able to do this here is unrealistic, because you deserve to have relationships that are not only in school. You deserve to have friends that are not only in school. And I feel like this ready for the world, but it's really not, because in what job are you not allowed to have your phone during lunch? They also say that banning phones have led to more engagement. I know that seems like a good thing, but it does not mean that's always gonna equal like better time. This will also lead to students just being blatantly more sneaky. I've seen this in my school, especially with things like drugs and vapes, which are definitely horrible and not good for anyone. People will just hide it. They will simply go into the bathroom, take long bathroom breaks, and use their phone. And what can anybody do about it? Absolutely nothing. Because you cannot just go into the bathroom stall and take away somebody's phone. You can't do that. I've seen this firsthand, because when I was going to the bathroom this morning, I really had to go, like, real bad. People, you can obviously see them like on the, I hear sounds like phone sounds. You're like ding or stuff like that. What the heck? And I was like, oh my gosh, I really have to go to the bathroom. I said it out loud. Finally, somebody got out, but there was still 2 stalls that were very much occupied where people were most definitely on their phones. And what can anybody do about it? Nothing. So really, this is not helping anybody, but just making people be more sneaky. Because when there's a will, and trust me, there is most definitely a will, there is a way. And honestly, the phone has never been a distraction for me. I've always got my work done. It's really just been a helper. Like, it is a tool that allows you to access things faster and more quickly. And for example, you can have a calculator on here, and instead of going out and buying one, you save money and just using your phone. And you can call people, you could text them, you could have that connection that all of our being needs as being humans. So here is both sides of the debate. Pro ban. Phones are killing focus, attention spans, social skills, and teachers say banning them helps students actually talk face to face. Whoa. So let's get anti-ban. Anti are tools, not enemy. Instead of bans, we should teach balance and responsibility. Other places agree with the pro-ban side. France and Italy have introduced nationwide ban of phones in their schools. But still some argue that it is unfair. According to the NY Post, parents are worried about their children's safety in school, not being able to reach their kids. Comment below what you guys think about the phone ban. In the UK, test scores went up after the phone ban. In Australia, principals reported improved behavior after the phone ban. but in some new schools, bans are patchy. One district locks phones, another doesn't, and students argue about inequality. Honestly, I feel like we are just test subjects and we gotta just write it out to see whether it works or not. Instead of full bans, schools could only ban phones during classes, not during lunch, have digital detox days, which we love, teach media literacy so students have healthy habits. Some schools are using like yonder patches for your phone, but it is locked all day. But these yonder patches, they're costing quite a lot, and sometimes why are we spending this much on yonder patches when we could be giving that money to something else more needed? Let's get into the money bit of this. So Governor Kathy Hochul announced that it will cost $25 million for New York State to enforce the phone bans. New York schools alone get 13.5 million of that money. Part of the money goes to the storage system, so that would be $25 for post and $5 for maintenance. So let's say school has 1,000 students, that would be $25,000 up front for just bags. And the phone lockers would be about 300 to 600 per unit, and a school needs multiple. So for 1,000 students, that could be 30,000 to 50,000. And some schools need to pay aides for phone collection, but I know, at least for me, like my phone, my school already has it, so I feel like they're really gonna take over that already. And I feel like the 25,000 could have gone to other things, like maybe some tutors. I know that a couple years back, like they had tutor at my school. There were online tutors, and they were so for my grades and everything, and they helped me throughout my classes, and they just made things like 10 times easier. And last year I asked for the tutor, and they said that they discontinued it. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that is because of funding, but I'm guessing it probably is, because I know there was quite a few people who were using that. It would have been amazing if that 25 million could have been used for that. We could have AC units. And Harvard study, AC units have improved students' focus, comfort, and test scores. So that would be amazing. The University of Birmingham study, basically that bans alone won't work without support. And you know, that makes sense. Like if you're not enforcing, then it's probably gonna work. And the MDB meta-analysis says that bans reduce bullying and improve behavior, but academic effects are small. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, maybe bullying and improved behavior, I like maybe of that more face-to-face connection. It's easier to like definitely type on the phone and call somebody like big meanie or whatever, and then go up to them and say that. And academic effects are small, really. Like, I feel like they're not gonna be, because if somebody wants to do something, they will. If Justin really doesn't want to do his homework, he won't. If not just Justin, but if Lily really doesn't want to do her homework, she won't do her homework. It's that easy. Okay, so my personal hot take. Overall, my personal hot is that people will just do whatever they want. Like, no matter whether you ban something or not, or if you make things illegal, like people are still doing drugs, even though we know, well, at least I hope people know, or as it's more out there, the effects of drugs. And they're still vaping, guys. Like they really, I think that, yeah, it's gone down. I remember my teacher telling me that like everybody was, you know, going crazy back in the, and now see as many people doing that, yes, but there's a will, there's a way. And phones aren't, I mean, I guess to some they can be, but they, or at least I don't think to most, they are drugs. They are tools that we use to help ourselves. We're able to call, we're able to text, we're able to search online, we're able to Google, we're able to do so many things that we wouldn't be able to do without. I think that this is a masterpiece, an amazing piece of technology that we should be able to value and use. And yeah, I think that we should have this ban. There should be other things that we should do, but a ban isn't one of them. Phones can be distracting if you make them, but they're also a lot of times our only connection to our distant friends and family and the world. The NYC phone ban is one of those bans that sound good in theory but are very complicated in practice. So Nobles, what do you think? Is the phone ban protecting students or is it punishing them? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives and share this to somebody who literally cannot put their phone down. I know that some people. Stay smart, stay thinking, and love you guys so much. See you later.